Hello, everyone, and welcome to this English lesson about phrasal verbs for your living room and entertainment. This is going to be a fun one because we're talking about things you probably do every single day. If you're like me, you spend a lot of time in your living room watching TV, listening to music, or just hanging out with family and friends. These phrasal verbs are super important because you'll hear them all the time when people are talking about entertainment. I might have even used a few already while I was talking and not even realized it. By the end of this lesson, you'll understand these common expressions that English speakers use every day in their living rooms. So let's start with turn on. This is probably the phrasal verb you use most in your living room. It means to start or activate an electronic device. I use this one constantly. Turn on the TV, turn on the lights, turn on the music. It's what we call separable, which means you can say it two ways. Turn on the TV or turn the TV on. Both are correct. Here's something important to remember. When you're using a pronoun like it, you have to put it in the middle. So you say, turn it on, not turn on it. For example, if someone asks, can you start the TV? You'd say, sure, I'll turn it on. You'll use this all the time. Let me turn on some music while we cook. You can also say, can you turn the air conditioning on? It's getting hot in here. Next up is turn off, and as you probably guessed, it's the opposite of turn on. You use this to stop or shut down electronic devices. Just like turn on, this one is separable too, so you can say turn off the TV or turn the TV off. Both sound natural. I use this one a lot, especially when I'm trying to save electricity. For example, you might say, don't forget to turn off the lights when you leave the room. My mom always used to say that to me when I was a kid. People also say things like, can you turn the music off? I'm trying to concentrate. Another common one is, please turn off the TV when you're done watching. It's just as common as turn on because, well, what goes on has to come off eventually. Now let's talk about turn up. This one means to increase the volume, brightness, or intensity of something. Basically, when you want more of something, more sound, more light, more heat, you turn it up. It's separable, so you can say turn up the volume or turn the volume up. I use this one all the time when I'm watching movies. For example, you might say, turn up the volume, I can't hear what they're saying. Another common situation is when it's cold in the house. It's getting chilly in here, let me turn up the heat. Or maybe turn up the brightness on your phone, I can barely see the screen. It's basically whenever you need more of something to make your experience better. And of course, we have turn down, which is the opposite of turn up. You use this when you want to decrease the volume, brightness, or intensity of something. So if something is too loud, too bright, or too hot, you turn it down. Same grammar rules. It's separable. Here's a situation I'm sure you've been in. We often say, could you turn down the music? The neighbors are going to complain. Another example is when you're watching a movie, turn down the lights so we can see the screen better. I also use this one a lot in the summer. It's too cold in here now. Let me turn down the air conditioning. It's all about finding that perfect level of comfort. Here's a good one, switch over. This means to change from one TV channel, program, or activity to another. If you're watching something and you want to watch something else instead, you switch over. It's separable, but honestly, most people just say switch to instead of switch over to. You'll hear this a lot when people are sharing the TV. For instance, you might say, can we switch over to the news after this show? Another common phrase is, I'm bored with this movie, let's switch over to Netflix. Sometimes my family argues about this. Come on, switch over to the game, it's starting. It's basically the polite way of saying you want to watch something different. Now here's one I love, sit back. This means to relax and make yourself comfortable, or to lean back and just enjoy something. This is what living rooms are for, right? You don't need an object with this one, you just sit back. I say this all the time when I have guests over. For example, I'll tell them, just sit back and enjoy the movie, or maybe sit back and relax while I get the snacks ready. It's also great for those lazy Sunday afternoons. After a long week at work, I just want to sit back with a good book. It's the perfect living room attitude, pure relaxation mode. Here's another one you'll use constantly: put on. When we're talking about entertainment, this means to start playing music, a movie, or a TV show. It's separable, so you can say put on some music or put some music on. I use this one all the time at home. Let me give you some examples. Let me put on some relaxing music while we eat dinner. Or, what movie should we put on tonight? When friends come over, I might say, I'll put on a comedy to lighten the mood. It's basically your way of starting any kind of entertainment. Sometimes I even put on background music while I'm cleaning the house. It makes the work go by faster. Oh, here's one that happens to me all the time: zone out. This means to stop paying attention or become mentally absent. You know when you're watching TV and suddenly you realize you have no idea what's happening because your mind wandered? That's zoning out. You just say zone out, no object needed. I do this constantly. For instance, I might say, I was so tired last night that I just zoned out during the entire movie. Sometimes it's actually relaxing. I like to zone out while listening to music. It helps me de-stress. My wife always teases me because I tend to zone out when we're watching romantic comedies. It's not that I don't like them, well, my mind goes somewhere else. I'll show you tune in, which means to watch or listen to a particular program or to pay attention to something. This phrasal verb comes from radio days but works perfectly for modern entertainment. It's separable when you specify what you're tuning into. Here's how you'd use it. Make sure to tune in tonight for the season finale. People also use this for recommendations. You should tune in to this podcast. It's amazing. This works great for live events. Millions of people will tune in to watch the awards show. Another way to say it: tune in to this documentary. You'll learn so much. Tune in implies choosing to pay attention to specific entertainment content. Here's a really common one: hang out. This means to spend time relaxing casually or socialize in a relaxed way. It's perfect for describing what you do in your living room with friends or family. You don't need an object, you just hang out. Teenagers use this one constantly. You'll hear them say, "Want to hang out at my place tonight?" But adults use it too. "We're just going to hang out and watch some movies." I love hanging out with my family in the evenings. We'll sit around, maybe watch TV, maybe just talk. It's those relaxed times when you're not really doing anything specific, just enjoying each other's company. I'll teach you chill out, which means to relax completely or calm down and unwind. This phrasal verb is all about stress relief and relaxation. You don't need an object, you simply chill out. Here's how I use it. After that stressful day, I just want to chill out on the couch. You might also say, Sunday is my day to chill out and do nothing. When inviting friends over, you could say, come over and we'll chill out with some good music. And for weekend plans, let's chill out and binge-watch our favorite series. Chill out embodies the ultimate living room goal: complete relaxation and peace. Our 12th phrasal verb is wind down, which means to gradually relax and prepare for rest, or to slowly reduce activity. This describes the perfect evening routine. You simply wind down, no object needed. For instance, I might say, I like to wind down with some light TV before bed. This is perfect for evening routines. After dinner, we wind down in the living room. People also use this for transitioning. It takes me an hour to wind down after work, or maybe, let's wind down with some herbal tea and soft music. Wind down describes the gentle transition from day to evening relaxation. I'll show you settle in, which means to make yourself comfortable for a long period or get cozy and ready to stay. This phrasal verb is perfect for those long entertainment sessions. You simply settle in, no object needed. For example, you might say, let me settle in with my blanket before we start the movie. This is great for hosting. Please settle in and make yourself at home. People also use this for comfort. I love to settle in with a cup of coffee and watch the morning news. Or maybe settle in, everyone. This documentary is 3 hours long. Settle In is about creating the perfect comfortable setup for extended entertainment. Next is flip through, which means to quickly look through TV channels, magazines, or options. This phrasal verb captures the browsing experience perfectly. It's separable, so you can say flip through something. For instance, you might say, I'm just flipping through channels to see what's on. Here's something relatable. I spent 20 minutes flipping through Netflix options. This works for magazines too. I like to flip through magazines while listening to music. Another way to use it, let's flip through the streaming services and find something good. Flip through describes that familiar search for the perfect entertainment choice. And here's my personal favorite, veg out. This means to relax completely without thinking or to be mentally inactive and just enjoy doing nothing. It comes from the word vegetable, like you're just sitting there like a vegetable. You simply veg out, no object needed. This is perfect for lazy days. For example, you might say, on Sundays, I love to veg out in front of the TV with some snacks. After a stressful week, sometimes you just need to veg out. I'm exhausted. I'm going to veg out and watch reality shows all evening. It's about giving your brain a complete break. My kids think I'm crazy, but sometimes vegging out with some mindless TV is exactly what I need. Well, there you have it, 15 phrasal verbs that you'll use all the time when you're talking about entertainment and relaxing at home. These aren't fancy formal expressions, they're the everyday words that English speakers actually use in their living rooms. The best way to learn these is to start using them in your daily life. When you're at home tonight, try using a few of these phrasal verbs. Instead of saying, start the TV, say, turn on the TV. Instead of saying, I want to relax, say, I want to veg out. The more you use them, the more natural they'll become. That's it for today's lesson on living room phrasal verbs. I hope you found it helpful, and I hope you'll start using these expressions in your own conversations. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next lesson.